River Phoenix's ex Martha Plimpton makes rare comment about romance. River Phoenix. The name alone carries a mix of brilliance, tragedy, and a deep sense of what could have been. And now, more than 3 decades after his untimely passing, someone who knew him better than most, actress Martha Plimpton, is opening up with an incredibly rare and heartfelt comment about their time together. And what she revealed? It's not just emotional, it's unforgettable. Martha Plimpton recently sat down on Jesse Tyler Ferguson's podcast Dinners on Me, and for the first time in a long while, she pulled back the curtain on a deeply personal chapter of her life, her romance with River Phoenix. The two met in the mid-1980s on the set of the Mosquito Coast, and what started as a teenage friendship quickly blossomed into something more. They were young, just kids, really, but Martha didn't hesitate to call it what it was, her first love. In her own words, she said, "We were each other's first love, and that is a big deal. A big deal indeed, especially when that love never quite fades." She described their relationship as powerful, formative, and deeply personal. They dated for nearly 4 years, a stretch of time that in teenage terms is practically a lifetime. But what made their bond so unique wasn't just romance. It was trust, friendship, and something even deeper, a shared sense of being a little lost in the Hollywood machine. Plimpton said, "He was so innocent in so many ways. He was driven entirely by his passions and his love. He was not ambitious in the traditional sense. He just wanted to do good work. And that passion, that vulnerability, made him both magnetic and fragile." But behind the fame, behind the critical acclaim, behind the boy with the guitar and the eyes that carried an old soul, River was struggling. Martha shared that their relationship began to strain under the weight of his substance abuse. She didn't go into the gritty details, she didn't have to. Her voice cracked slightly as she admitted, "We broke up because I was not going to stand by and watch him destroy himself. And that decision, to walk away, wasn't easy. She loved him, but she also couldn't save him. And in the end," she said, "that helplessness still haunts her." What's perhaps most heartbreaking is the way Martha still talks about River in the present tense. She hasn't let him go. "Not really. I miss him every single day," she confessed. A pause followed. The kind of pause that doesn't need words to carry its weight. She went on to imagine what kind of man River Phoenix might have become had he lived. She believes he would have been a powerful voice, not just in film, but in activism, in recovery, in healing. He would have helped people, she said. He was built for that. River's legacy, to her, is not just about movies like Stand By Me or My Own Private Idaho. It's about the light he carried. A light that burned too bright, too fast. And while the world remembers River Phoenix as a Hollywood icon, Martha Plimpton remembers him as a boy who played guitar in quiet corners, who talked endlessly about saving the planet, who held her hand and made her laugh in between takes, and who once whispered that he loved her when no one else was watching. It's rare for Plimpton to talk about this part of her life. In fact, she's been notably private for decades. But in this conversation, something cracked open. And through that opening, we caught a glimpse, not of tabloid gossip or celebrity fluff, but of a real love story. Messy, honest, beautiful, and ultimately, heartbreaking. And maybe that's why it matters so much. Because in remembering River through Martha's eyes, we don't just mourn what we lost. We also honor who he was, and who he might have been. So if this story touched you the way it touched us, if you believe in preserving these intimate, real moments behind the spotlight, take a second to like this video and subscribe for more emotional, raw, and human celebrity stories. Because behind every star, there's a story waiting to be told. And Martha just told one that will linger for a long, long time.